Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope that you guys are managing to stay on top of the gang stalking. I sure am, and I want to be a good example for you guys and for the other TIs who are suffering through this program. Like I said many times, psychological resistance and resilience is the name of the game. If you can resist mentally, if you can find yourself in a mental state where you can resist the gang stalking psychologically, you are probably going to do just fine. And that's why I'm sharing these videos with you guys, to let you guys know that any TI who is going through the gang stalking can definitely resist the gang stalking. And I want to be a good example for you guys, because I seem to be doing relatively fine. It's annoying, it's difficult, but it can be done. You can resist, you can become mentally strong and be resilient and strong, and nothing will happen to you. All right, guys? So what I don't like to see is when I look at some of you guys, some of you TIs, and you look so fucking defeated, so weak, so mentally weakened. Guys, I've been there myself. I have been there myself before. However, now I am in a place, in a good headspace, where I'm mentally strong and resilient, that even when I get mobbed by millions of these fucking cowards, I still manage to be happy. And you can hear it in my voice right now. What does my voice sound like to you? Does it sound like somebody who's defeated? Does it sound like somebody who's a coward? Does it sound like somebody who is afraid? No. So I'm doing relatively well, and I want to see you guys, other TIs who are suffering through this. I don't want to see you guys defeated, walking around being defeated and weak, and letting these fucking cowards bring you down and make you feel like shit, like you can't live your life. Look, guys, it's summer right now. I'm sitting right here. I'm sitting right here by this beautiful lake. It's called Ewald here in Herne. It's a beautiful lake. It's a very sunny day. It's a beautiful day, and gangstalkers can come. They just came right now. Two of these cocksuckers came whilst I'm recording this video, and they're kind of provoking me and talking about me, and calling me a chicken and all this kind of stuff. Then I turned around, I confronted them. I said, "Do you guys need something? What do you want from me? Do you guys need something?" And immediately the cowards run. They start running, and they say, "Look." They come to you and they call you a chicken. And they say, "Oh, fuck off, you fucking chicken, you bitch, this and that." Then you have a confrontation with them and you say, I said to them, like, "You guys need something? Do you want something?" And they're like, No, sir, we don't want nothing. No, you whatever. And then they just leave and fucking run away. And I'm like, what? You're coming to me and calling me a chicken and a coward and trying to terrorize me, thinking that I'm a pussy like you, and I'm afraid. I'm not afraid of anything. I'll fucking confront you right now. I'll fucking stab you right now in this fucking piece of shit. Man, I'm sitting right here in the wilderness right now. I'm in a fucking... sitting right here by a fucking lake, in the middle of nowhere in a forest. Like, I could easily fucking come and stab your fucking ass and drown your fucking ass in the lake. I'm stronger than you, motherfucker. I could do this, and I'm braver, a million times braver than you. But these cocksuckers, they want you to believe the lies that they're saying to you. They're gaslighting you into thinking, by using huge numbers, that you are the chicken, or that you are the pussy, or that you are the coward. Nah, it's all projection, guys. Okay, don't let these people defeat you mentally. Always have resilience and strength of mind. Okay, I don't like to see you targeted individuals weakened. I don't like to see you guys defeated. Oh shit, guys! There's a helicopter. They sent a helicopter to above me. Okay, can you guys hear the helicopter? Yeah, they sent a helicopter right above my fucking head, guys. This is this is how important we are. Okay, so guys, don't let these cocksuckers and these fucking pieces of shit who are trying to gaslight you into thinking that you're weak or a coward or a bitch or something like that. 9 times out of 10, I'm telling you guys, 9 times out of 10, this has more to do with them than it has to do with you. Okay, guys? So Learn to become mentally strong and psychologically resilient, and that way you can resist most of the psychological attacks, and you can actually live your life. Okay, you're supposed to live your life. What these people are trying to prevent you from doing is to live your life. They don't want you to live your life. They don't want you to have Spaß, as they can say in German. They don't want you to have fun. They don't want your life to be enjoyable. They're killjoys. They're buzzkills. They want to kill your joy of life. They want to kill your ability to enjoy life. And don't let them. Don't let them. Okay? So when I see you TIs being defeated, just staying huddled up in your house doing nothing, no, go out, man. Defeat the shit. Be brave, man, okay? Go outside, leave your house. Go swim in a lake. It's summer right now. It's fucking beautiful weather. Go chill out, camp out in the woods by yourself or with somebody that you trust. I know it's difficult to find somebody you can trust, but whatever. Chill out with somebody. Find a tent. Camp out in the woods, in the wilderness. Go do some safari or some crazy shit. Go climb a mountain. You guys, like a lot of you guys watching my videos, you fucking Americans, man. Like, you could go to Arizona. There's like a canyon, the Grand Canyon. You could do like off-road fucking, motorcycling and fucking off-road whatever with cars. And you could, even with the bicycle, you can have a lot of fun going outside, swimming, camping, hiking. Go meet some, if you're a guy, go meet some women and fucking like have sex or something like that. I discovered this recently is that I try to have sex as much as possible because I discovered that when you don't have a lot of sex during the gangstalking, what tends to happen is your energy and vibration becomes lower and lower and lower, like the gangstalkers. So actually having sex is, first of all, it's beneficial for you, like for your health, for your physical health, but it's also beneficial to you for mental, spiritual energy. So, today I had sex with a girl this morning, and I fucking feel amazing. I feel really good. Like, you guys should do that as well. Like, go and have fun. Don't let these people deprive you and stop you from doing the things that you want to do. You want to go to the cinema, go to the cinema. You want to go to a restaurant, go to a restaurant. You want to go drink coffee somewhere, go take a coffee and fucking chill by a river, chill by a lake. You want to read a book in the sun, go do it, man. You want to go bungee jumping. You want to go travel. You want to, you want to, I don't know what you want to do, but you want to do something, right, to enjoy your life and have fun. So go do it. You want to go hunting, go hunting. You want to go fishing, go fishing. Whatever it is that you want to do to enjoy your life, go and do it. And the reason why I'm talking to you guys about the mental strength and the resilience and the courage and bravery to withstand all of these attacks, but also preserving and maintaining the ability to have fun and enjoy your life, has a lot to do with the topic that I'm talking about today, which is terrorism. Yes, terrorism. So, you guys, especially the Americans who are watching this, you guys who are Americans, I can see from my statistics that there's about 50% of my viewers and subscribers are from America. Right, so I'm sure that as Americans, you have been heavily affected by terrorism. You know that there was terrorism, the famous terrorist attack of the Twin Towers. What was that, in 2001? Right? It was 9/11. That's the American, like you guys in America, you say 9/11 instead of 11/9. Here in Europe, they would say the 11th of September, so that would be 11/9, right? Because September is 9, and then 2001, right? So, what happened in 9/11, basically, and this was quite memorable to a lot of the American people, but also, of course, to the entire world, is that 15, or was it 17, the terrorists hijacked an airplane and smashed that fucking airplane right into the Twin Towers, killing about 3,000 people that were residing in that Twin Towers. And now, considerably speaking, 3,000 American citizens is technically, in the bigger picture, not such a big number if you really consider it. I mean, 3,000 is it's a significant number, but 3,000 is not such a big number when you consider that America has 300 million people, right? So as a percentage, 3,000 is less than 0.01%, right? So it's quite insignificant in the larger scope of things. I mean, it's still 3,000 people that died. But the point that I'm getting at, the point I'm trying to make, is the terrorists, they killed these 3,000 people to make an example. And this is the purpose of terrorism. The purpose of terrorism and how terrorism operates is through the installation of fear. They instill fear in others by using scare tactics, right? And this is essentially what we are dealing with in the gangstalking, is scare tactics. We are being mobbed and threatened in ways that are very threatening. It's very threatening. It's very scary, right? It's meant to terrorize you. It's meant to scare you, right? Now, back to 9/11, the terrorists only killed 3,000 people, but the purpose of that was to terrorize and instill fear in the 300 million Americans, right? And it worked. It worked because the Americans were quite traumatized. You know, I remember watching television. I remember I was a kid. I was like fucking, well, how old was I? I think I was 13, maybe 12 years old. And, you know, you could see the level of fear and shock, the shock and fear that the Americans had, and the trauma that happened when the 9/11 occurred. And it did scare a lot of the Americans, you know, 300 million people. And that's the purpose of terrorism. That's how terrorism works. So why am I talking about this? Well, because terrorism has a lot to do with gangstalking. Gangstalking is essentially a form of domestic terrorism. So instead of you being terrorized by Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda and ISIS and jihadists, you are actually being terrorized by your own government. The government is terrorizing the citizens, right? Because if you're a targeted individual who is dealing with gangstalking in America, essentially you are being, you know, you're being mobbed and you're being terrorized by the U.S. government, right? The U.S. government is sending gangstalkers and perpetrators to harass, stalk and harass and terrorize you, which technically, that's actually much worse. It's a million times worse than being targeted by Al-Qaeda, because at the very least, with Al-Qaeda, you know that they are enemies. You know, these are foreign people. They have nothing to do with you. These are, you know, people that believe in a different religion or believe in something different. And you can see them coming, right? You would always expect Osama bin Laden and his ilk to attack someone who is American. So that's not really a problem. When your enemy is attacking you, that's not a problem. The problem for the targeted individuals and the TIs that deal with this trauma and terrorism of the gangstalking is they're being essentially stabbed in the back and betrayed by their own government. So it's the U.S. government persecuting and terrorizing the U.S. citizens. But of course, it can happen in any country. You could be, you know, Swedish being targeted by the Swedish government. You could be from the Middle East. You could be from Africa. You could be from any fucking country in the world, and you will still have the problem. So essentially the issue is an issue of betrayal of trust, right? It's a form of treason, because the government, which is supposedly supposed to be protecting its own citizens, why is the U.S. government targeting targeted individuals who are citizens and terrorizing them to destroy their lives. That's a huge betrayal. I mean, the government shouldn't be attacking its own citizens. But either way, like the example of Al Qaeda and ISIS and 9/11, gangstalking is a form of terrorism. And of course, you can look at the picture that I provided you guys with here, and you can see what the definition. You can see what the definition of terrorism is. It's essentially the use of force and killing and murder and physical violence or psychological violence in order to instill fear and to intimidate an individual or group of people, usually with the end goal of submission, to cause some level of submission, right? Because what the terrorists want to do, you see this all the times. You hear about some dude who was from Texas, went to work in Iraq after the war, went to work in Iraq, truck driving or something like that. I heard this story a long time ago. And he was captured by a group of terrorists. And what the terrorists do, they'll take you hostage and they'll keep scaring you with guns and scaring you and threatening you all the time with weapons to keep you under control, right? Is to enforce. It's for the purpose of coercion, right? To coerce you into doing things that you would not otherwise want to do, and to instill fear in you. And that's the way to get you to submit. So essentially what the terrorists are trying to do, the domestic terrorists, the gangstalkers, the government, what they're trying to do is to instill fear in you, to coerce you and force you to do things that you don't normally want to do through the use of force, physical and psychological, emotional abuse and terrorism, to force you into a submissive state, right? And obviously, when you're being mobbed, when you're being mobbed by such a large group of people, within your own country, that is difficult to fight back. I mean, you can't fight back, and I tell you guys because I want to give you hope. Nobody can live except with hope. When you lose all hope, you lost everything, motherfucker. Like, hope is everything. You need hope in life. So when they're mobbing you and you're using such an unfair disadvantage against you, it's difficult. I know it's difficult. It's not easy, but there's always something we can do to fight back. Or at the very least, if you don't want to fight back, you can always do things to protect yourself and provide some level of security in your life and protection. I mean more like of the psychological nature and the emotional nature. I don't mean it more in the physical nature. Although physical assaults have been recorded as happening in gangstalking. I hear these stories from people all the time who have been physically assaulted, whether it was attempted murder, drugging, poisoning, rape. Anything goes, right? I mean, it's like fair game, right? Anything can happen. These tactics that are being used on us are very similar to the tactics being used by the Jehovah's Witnesses, who are, of course, Jehovah's Witnesses are one of the biggest fucking scumbags on the earth organizations. A lot of people that left the Jehovah's Witnesses have ultimately regretted such a decision, not because they were no longer affiliated with the Jehovah's Witnesses, but because of the retaliation that the Jehovah's Witnesses had carried out on them because they decided to leave. And it's not just Jehovah's Witnesses, it's also Scientology. Scientologists also do these things. It's called fair game. I don't know, you guys can look it up. It's called fair game. So once you leave the Scientology, they will persecute you and essentially gangstalk you until you go crazy or you commit suicide or anything to get rid of you. Probably because they're so afraid that somebody might try to divulge or expose the lies and bullshit that they have in their community, because it is a cult. And that's the problem with these cults. It's a lot like Islam, for example. You know, I don't usually like to disparage any people and religion, that kind of stuff, but like with Islam, it's like once you're in, you can't get out. You know what I mean? Like if you say, for example, I don't want to be a Muslim anymore, and I decided to reject, Muhammad and reject the teachings of the Quran, the Muslims would feel that they have the right to chop off your head, essentially, to kill you. A lot like the mafia. I don't know if you guys know the mafia. What the mafia does is that if you leave the mafia, a lot of gangsters and gangs and mafias do these things. Once you leave or decide to leave, they may try to murder you. They may try to kill you, get rid of you in some way to protect themselves. But anyway, back to the initial topic. The initial topic is the terrorism. So, what can we, as targeted individuals, what can we do to protect ourselves against terrorism? It is very much true that we are limited in the things that we can do. There's not always things that we can do because we are facing against a very large crowd of people who seemingly are against us and who do want to destroy us. They want to kill us. They want us in jail. They want us homeless. They want us to be in psych wards. They want us to go mentally ill. They want us to have no finances. You know what I mean? So for this reason, it's quite difficult to fight back, but that doesn't mean that we cannot fight back. Yes, we can. And this is the point why I'm trying to make this video, is to give you guys some motivation, And I recommend you, by the way, shout out to, Corey, man. Corey Resilient. You guys should watch Corey Resilient. If you don't watch, if you're watching my channel, also watch Corey Resilient. That guy's fucking brilliant. That guy's a top G. He's awesome. And he's trying to fight back in his own way. I feel like he's got his shit together, so to speak. And I like to see that in TI's doing something to fight back, to protect themselves. He's learning a lot of things with the hacking and that kind of stuff, which he can use to protect himself from the government and to hack. It's called anti or ethical hacking, where you can just hack somebody back. Sort of like if somebody's hacking you, you can hack them back. And that's funny because that actually happened in my situation. There was somebody that was one of my acquaintances had actually managed to find on the phone that this individual was hacking me. And I could see the evidence on my phone that I was being hacked by specifically this person, because she had entered certain login details and passwords which she could use to access my phone. And using those login details and passwords, I managed to hack her phone back, and I hacked into her phone. I read into her emails. I accessed her LinkedIn account, LinkedIn, Gmail, emails, WhatsApp, everything. And that was actually a very brilliant moment, because I managed to hack somebody back who was hacking me, and I managed to find out a lot of things, which was quite funny. Eventually, she did wise up to the fact that it was me that hacked her back. I'm guessing because if she's hacking me, she probably knows that I'm hacking her back. She got like an alert, and she found out about it. But anyway, guys, I am diverging. What I'm trying to say to you guys is this, and listen up. There is always something we can do to fight back. You can change your phones. It's not going to work 100%, but you can do it. I've tried it. You can change multiple phones. I've changed 5-6 different phones. I've actually written a book about some of the things you can do to fight back against gangstalking. It's a very cheap book. I think it's on Amazon only for like $3. So if you guys have $3 to spare, please do buy the book and have a look into it. I did not do it for any commercial reason. I only put the price to make sure that only serious people would have access to it, if you know what I mean, right? To deter people who are not serious about gang stalking, right? So I could have increased the price. I could have sold it at like 10 or 12 or $15, but I only put it at the price of, I think, $2.99 or $3 or something like that. So I'm sure you guys, even though you're struggling financially, maybe you can have access to it. And in this book, it's called Gangstalking: Insights from a Seasoned Target. And in this book, I provided a lot of tips for people who are dealing with gang stalking on how to protect themselves. Some of the things that they can do and some of the things I have learned. Now, there's not always something you can do. For example, if you go to an area which is heavily controlled and there's a lot, and there's a lot of gang stalkers, such as what happened to me today, unfortunately, you will be getting mobbed, right? You will get mobbed. You will have 15, 20, 30, 100 people or whatever mobbing you and verbally abusing you and talking trash about you, provoking you, and all that kind of stuff. And that's just something you have to deal with because there's practically nothing you can do about it. I mean, think about how ridiculous would it be for you, as it happened to me this morning, as I'm on my way coming to this lake, passing through this area, which is, just full. It was like like a carnival. It looked like a carnival type of place, and it was like 150 people. And as I was passing through there, I was just getting mobbed and ridiculed and verbally attacked and insulted and provoked and laughed at and jeered at and sneered at and all that kind of stuff. As you know, this happens quite typically in a gang stalking. But what can I do in that situation? Well, there's not much I can do, because the point of all this baiting and provocation is essentially to drive me crazy and make me do something that I shouldn't be doing, such as retaliating against them physically out there in the open in public, and then get myself in trouble with the police and the law. And this is essentially why the baiting and the taunting is used quite commonly in the gang stalking. And anything that I do, if I start shouting like that, like a crazy person, like shouting at the top of my voice in public, it just seems ridiculous, and it can easily get me in trouble with the police, because that actually happened to me in the past when I was getting mobbed in the streets of Dusseldorf, and then I kind of lost my temper for a second, and then I started shouting at the top of my voice, and immediately they called the police on me. And that did not end up good, guys. You don't want to be in a jail cell for the night. It's not a fun experience. When the police come and catch you and push you against the wall, fucking push you against the wall, push you against the wall and put like, what do you call them? Those handcuffs. Put handcuffs on your arms, and take their batons and fucking smash your legs, boom, 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 and to force you to kneel, and then take you to the jail cell, put you in the police car, and drive you to the jail cell, put you in the fucking jail cell, and literally take off all your fucking clothes. That's what they did to me, guys. They took off all my clothes, and they literally searched my asshole. They opened up my fucking asshole to search for drugs, because they thought I was hiding drugs or hashish or marijuana or some kind of cocaine in my ass, because that's what they're dealing with criminals all the time. And they didn't find anything. But the problem is, you don't want to be treated that way, right? I'm sure it's not about being a pussy. It's not about being a coward. It's not about being afraid. It's about, I don't want to deal with the police. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to be treated this way. I don't want to be handcuffed and beaten up with a baton, and for them to take off my clothes and open my fucking asshole to search for drugs is not really a fun experience, right? I assure you guys, you don't want to go through this shit, okay? However, this is why you need to deal with the gang stalking on a psychological level. Once you get the psychological mindset that you have straight up, you're gonna be straight. Everything gonna be good. Don't get provoked. Don't lose your shit in random places where you shouldn't be, okay? Choose very carefully when you get provoked and you allow yourself to blow off some steam and get provoked. Make sure at least it's not in an area that is too public where you can get into trouble with the law. Right. So right now, two of these piece of shit gang stalkers came and followed me to the lake, started calling me names, calling me a chicken, insulting me, verbally attacking me. I confronted them. I told them, fuck off. Like, what do you want from me? Do you want something? Do you need something? And you're like, oh, no, we don't need anything, sir. And then they started running away. And as they're running away, I started like, I shouted at them at the top of my voice. I was like, fuck off. Like, if you come here, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. Like, get the fuck out of here, And so you have to control some of the aggression and anger. You have to channel it, learn to control it and channel it in the right places. Don't just use it in the wrong times and the wrong places. See, guys, helicopters. So yeah, I'm telling you guys, it's the government. It's the government. People telling me it's criminals. How can criminals control, military and government helicopters to come and fly over us? So it is the government, of course. But anyway, back to my topic is you can confront the gang stalkers, but make sure you only do it in a place where you have the advantage, where you won't get into trouble with the law, where you won't look like you're completely nuts and crazy in front of people in like public areas. You have to be very careful. You have to be very careful what you do. Channel that aggression, keep it to yourself, and only use it when it needs to be done. And guys, I feel absolutely amazing right now. I found this punching bag machine. It's like a Mike Tyson punching bag machine. These like arcade game kind of punching bags where you have you put like $1 or something like that, and then it gives you a punching bag. And I just felt like using it. And that's what I'm telling you guys. You have to learn. You have to learn to do things for fun. When you can enjoy life with the suffering, with the difficulties, with the things that are happening to you, keep that joy of life. Keep that enjoyment. Do things for fun. I just put like $1 there, and I punched it as hard as I could. And I think the score goes up to like 3,000. And I punched it so fucking hard, it went up. The score gave me like 2,650. And I was really proud in that moment. I was like, man, this is good. Now I know if somebody attacks me, some piece of shit gang stalker attacks me, I would smash their fucking, man, I would break their fucking jaw, Because when you punch somebody with like, that 2,650 out of 3,000, that is a lot. That is one hell of a punch. And some of these gang stalkers, they like to, this the thing, guys. They are the cowards. You're not the coward. They like to talk tough. They like to talk tough. They like to act tough with all this provocation and emotional, psychological bullshit. But when the coming goes, when it comes to the real stuff, and it comes to an actual physical confrontation, and punches are flying in the air, then you're gonna see a different fucking face to it. Then they're gonna be like shitting their fucking pants. Then it's gonna be a very, very different. How you guys say it? They'll be singing a different tune. You know what I mean? They will be singing a different tune. So guys, what are terrorists trying to achieve? If somebody is a terrorist and they want to terrorize you, what is the number one thing that they're trying to achieve and that you should prevent? To instill fear in you. The terrorists, the domestic terrorists, are trying to instill fear in you. The biggest battle that you have in gang stalking is you have to fight against psychological fear. You have to withstand and resist against psychological fear. Don't be afraid. Don't allow them to threaten you. Don't allow them to make you afraid. Go out there, do the things that you want to do. Don't be paralyzed. Don't allow people to stop you from doing the things that you want to do. You know, I want to come here to this lake and I want to swim, and I'm going to goddamn fucking swim in this fucking lake because I fucking want to, and nobody's going to fucking stop me. You know, I want to come here and I want to make a video. I want to shoot a video, and I want to make this, you know, podcast to you guys and talk to you guys. I will do it, and I don't fucking care. You know, so guys, don't be afraid. Don't let them threaten you. Don't let them make you feel afraid of anything. Do the things that you want to do. The best way that I know when I see the difference between a healthy TI and an unhealthy TI, a winning TI versus a defeated TI, what is the difference that I see? Is that the defeated TI just sits at home and doesn't do anything. Right? I've seen a lot of you guys telling me like, I'm just sitting at home. I don't do anything. I can't even leave my house. Okay? Don't be like that. And when I see the healthy TIs, how do I know somebody's a healthy TI? They're going out there. You know, they're making videos. They're talking about gangstalking in the streets. They chill out in the park. They talk to people. They film people. You know, maybe if the gangstalkers come or something like that, they try to catch them on videos. They try to take videos of them or something. Some people get hidden cameras, you know, like a body footage camera that they put on their bodies. That way the gangstalkers don't know that you're filming them. You know, you can have a camera in your glasses or whatever. But the point is, you see these healthy TIs that are going out there, living their lives, doing the things that they want to do. They're still meeting up with people, although it's quite difficult to trust anybody in gangstalking, but they're meeting up with people. They're chilling out. They're doing something. Even if they're by themselves, they still go out camping in the wilderness, do some barbecue in the wilderness, light up some fires, chill out in the mountains, go hiking, go snowboarding, do some sports. You know, what the fuck, man? Just because we're TIs doesn't mean we can't enjoy our lives. Doesn't mean we can't do anything for fun. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I've done a lot of things ever since I was gangstalked. When I was gangstalked, I still managed to work for 1 year. I still managed to talk to people. I still managed to meet women and have sex with them. I still managed to, you know, talk to people, although I didn't trust them and I knew that they could potentially be gangstalkers, but whatever. I was talking to people. I managed to write 8 books. I managed to, you know, I told you guys about, I walked like 1,000 kilometers from Germany to France, and I did this 3 fucking times by myself with a tent, you know, just a tent and a sleeping bag by myself. Walked 1,000 kilometers from Germany to France. I did it 3 times. So nothing's gonna stop you, guys. It's all psychological. If you can defeat the psychology, if you can defeat the psychological aspect, and you are not instilled with fear, then nothing is going to happen. You're gonna be absolutely fine. All right, guys. This is the best way that I can tell you that we can resist. And although I know for a fact, it's actually been told to me by one of these gangstalkers, because they're in the know. You know, these people, they know about the things happening to me. They know about the mobbing. They know about all these things. One of these fucking gangstalkers, he told me, he said, you know, he said, all of Germany, the entire country of Germany, you know, 80 million people in Germany are against you. He told me like this, like 80 million people in Germany are all against you. So anywhere you go in Germany, you know, you're going to be targeted. They are like basically your enemies. You know what I mean? So guys, don't let these numbers threaten you. You don't be afraid of these people. These cowards, man, they might have... Here we go again. These cowards, they have huge numbers. These cowards, they have huge numbers, but still they're not able to take us down and kill us. You know, look at 80 million Germans still can't take me down, and I'm by myself. How do I do it? A lot of times the gangstalkers themselves are fucking like absolutely surprised sometimes. I even hear the gangstalkers surprised and they look at me like, and they start talking to each other like, man, he's so strong. You know, he's like, they start talking about me like, man, this guy's fucking strong, man. Like, how is he able to resist all of this? I can't believe this, man. And a lot of times I used to live with this I shortly lived in England, in Surrey, with this Nigerian guy, and I think he's one of them. Oh, look, there's a swan, a beautiful swan. I haven't seen a swan in a while. Anyway, so yeah, I'm living with this Nigerian guy, this guy called Julius, and he looked at me one day. He looked at me with like an expression of awe, an expression of like, what the hell, and he was like, you never cease to amaze me. Like, you're still trying, as in he's trying to say, like, if it was me, like, I would have given up a long time ago. I just committed suicide. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't. He was like, wow, this is amazing. And many times when they caught me on false reasons and put me in a hospital in France, the people that worked there looked at me with this expression of awe and surprise in their eyes, and the people were talking, saying, c'est surprenant. It's like French. It means it's amazing. Like, how this guy is still trying. Like, what the fuck? After all the shit that he went through, after all the shit that we did to him, like, he's still fucking trying. Like, what the hell, man? Like, so even the Gangstalkers themselves, they're actually surprised that you guys are still standing. Like, because a lot of you TIs, like, if you're still a TI and you've been going through this program for years, maybe 5 years, maybe 6 years, maybe 7 years, you have to understand, like, even the Gangstalkers are surprised by you guys. They're surprised that you guys are still fucking like kicking around, like, that you guys are still alive is already a miracle from something, from, call it nature, call it God, call it whatever, but from some. Anyway, I made this video a little bit too long. I'm gonna try to cut it off right now, but the point that I'm trying to make to you guys is this: resist the gangstalking. Learn to resist psychologically. Once you resist psychologically, you're gonna be fine. Once you resist psychologically, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be absolutely fine. Just resist psychologically, and you can resist the terrorism. And don't let them instill fear in you. Or go outside, challenge them, confront them in the ways that you can, and yeah, and try to, as much as possible, try to not be afraid. Always do the things that you want to do. Go outside. Be a healthy TI. Don't be a defeated TI. Don't let them terrorize you. Don't let the terrorism work. The only way that the terrorism can work is if they can terrorize you. It's only if they can scare you and terrorize you, then the terrorism will work. All right, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you like it. If you like, subscribe and comment, and I will see you guys in the next one.